Hey, beautifuls. Today, discussion is going to be about friends and family and basically how they suck. And I know that most of you are that are watching are trying to be on this journey, but a lot of times you'll have opposition from even the closest people that should be uplifting and they're not. So a lot of times, you'll have these families. Like, I have been blessed that a majority of my family is supportive, but there are people out there who have just a crappy family who aren't supportive, and it's almost like they're dysfunctional. I have a lot of notes still, you'll see me refer down. But, um, it's the group of people that never have anything nice to say or positive to say. It's these negative Nellies that are like constantly in our life. Um, and it didn't matter what you did, they're always there with some comment or something witty to say that really brings you down. So the other day, I've been messing around with art and I made something that I thought was really cool, and I was sharing it with a family member, and they were like, this looks like just a mess. So, like, I felt so destroyed. I wanted them to be like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. But instead, they were like, oh, that looks like a chaotic mess. Like, it wasn't even constructive criticisms like, oh, well, it's really not my thing, but, I'm glad you thought it was cool or anything like that. But it's just like the little tiny things sometimes that come out of their mouth that it just drives you nuts. They can't ever be excited for your accomplishments. And a lot of times it's because they're miserable themselves. Uh, and, misery loves company. So they'll try to drag you down to their level because they're not accomplishing what you are. And it's the same for weight loss. So I've lost a lot of friends because they don't want to hear about my weight loss and my weight loss journey and how I'm getting healthy by changing the food that I eat, because, well, let's be honest, they don't want to do that themselves. They would rather, I guess, be stuck in their misery. And so, like, I've been unfriended, but I try not to let that bother me, because if they're unfriending me and they're not happy about my accomplishments, then they really weren't friends to begin with. So, just saying. But, you know, people know what's healthy. It's just they're choosing not to change. And so when you start changing, then all of a sudden your excitement and everything makes them realize that they're still at the place that they don't want to be. And so you have to kind of blow that off a lot of times. And it's hard. A lot of it could be that, maybe it's the fear of change for them. Maybe they're scared to change and they don't know what's going to happen. Sorry, my, my iPad's slipping. Or maybe it's just a lack of knowledge. And so that's what keeps them from doing anything to change. But, when I first started, I didn't have all the answers either. In fact, I didn't have any answers because nobody was helping me. And that's the thing, nobody will help you. You have to search out the answers for yourself. Nobody's going to have a magic pill to help you. No one's going to have the magic answer. You have to kind of put together what everybody else is doing and figure out your own journey. You are your own person. So, I just plowed away at YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and I tried to find people who had results that I wanted, and that's who I followed. But you need to have these positive people in your life. If you have all negative people, then that's what you're going to kind of absorb and emulate. So I heard it once said that, you are the 5 people that you hang around with the most. So if you're hanging around a lot of negative Nellies, then you will turn into a negative Nelly. If you are hanging around positive people, then you will turn into a positive person. And so a lot of people won't let you in their inner circles because they're afraid that if you're a negative Nelly and they have like 4 positive people in their life and they've just gotten rid of a negative Nelly, they're afraid to let you in even though you want to change. And so it's really hard sometimes to get in with positive people because you are who you hang around with. And so you have to change like that whole environment and find positive people. So there's always a way to succeed in getting these positive people in your life and getting what you want. You just have to find a way. And a lot of times people don't want to hunt for that way. So for me, I found that right now I don't have a lot of immediate close friends that are eating the way I am, that need to lose weight, that want to, I guess, grow more positively and want to be like full of life and full of energy and just love life. The one person that I have that is kind of all of those things is away on a cruise because because I'm jealous. She's just a butt and is out on the sea living the life that she wants to live, and God bless her. But that positivity isn't here at the moment for me right now. And so I've basically isolated myself from everybody because I don't want to be around the negative people, and there are no positive people. So right now, my positive people, and this might be exactly what you have to do, is the internet. My positive people is Tanny Raw on YouTube, and Lissa's Raw Food Romance, and Raw Tropical Living Jack. He's on there. It's just people from Well Your World. It's people on Facebook that are in my plant-based group. It's friends that are trying to change but don't know how, that I'm helping. Like, those people right now are who I surround myself with, because I don't have any, I guess, real life people that can be my cheerleader and can be positive. And that's what I need in order to stay on track and keep moving forward with my life and my positivity. But you have to realize too that the people who are doing all this negative self-talk and all that stuff and outward talk to you, it's their problem, not yours. And a lot of times you have to take them with a grain of salt and you have to let it roll off your back, because you can't change them. So, you just have to find your own way and find your own positivity, because your quality of life is affected by all those people. And you don't want those people who hate everything all the time, that have an unfulfilling life, that are unwilling to make the changes. You don't want them dragging you down and influencing your way of life. You need to focus on your goals and the journey that you're on. And it's not your job to fix everybody else. You can waste a lot of time and a lot of energy focusing on other people, trying to change them, trying to get them on board with what you're doing, when you could be spending all that energy focusing on you and shoving yourself forward and onward and upward. Sorry, I'm kind of reading through because I've went through some of these on tangents. Like I said, support yourself with loving, uplifting people that help you create a better version of you. Because it really is about self-love and loving yourself and realizing that you are worth the work, the effort, you're worth the positive vibes, you're worth the vibrancy that comes, you're worth everything. And if it wasn't for you, other people would be nothing. And I think that people have a hard time realizing that they let these people drag them down and drag them down and drag them down until you are just wore out. You're like a freaking rug that they're stomping on and just expecting you to be there for them to wipe their feet on. And when you're not, then they're just like, oh my gosh, I needed you so much. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't be there for other people. You can't be a positive influence. You can't be loving to them. You can't be uplifting to them. You can't help them along on their journey when they decide to change, whenever that may be, or if they decide to change. So it's about loving yourself enough to realize that you deserve to be healthy, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to have everything in life. And a lot of people just can't come to that realization. And if you're around a lot of these negative people, it filters into your brain constantly. And you need to surround yourself with that self-love and those affirmations that you are good enough, that you are worth it. And yeah, it's just, I was thinking about my weight loss journey, and I wrote down some stuff here that, I had people tell me that I would never be able to lose the weight. I would never get rid of my diseases. I would never be able to do any of this because I had already tried all these diets and I had failed. Well, first of all, the only failure that you ever have is when you stop trying. Because honestly, Atkins, the diet that I was on for a long time and lost weight and then got off and, when I was my weight and went back to normal, that taught me a lot of stuff. It taught me a lot of, I guess, wrong stuff, but it still taught me, and it made me the person I am today. And, people are not going to save you. They're not going to want you to get better. Some people will because they just love you that much. But a majority of the people are going to see your accomplishments as their failures. And so anything that you do to better yourself, to make yourself the person who you want to be, they're going to see as their own failures. And it has really nothing to do with you, but they're not going to be supportive. No one's going to hand you a magic pill. No one's going to give you a book to read that's going to have all the answers in it. No one's going to post a video online that's going to have all your answers. It really is, like I said, a compiling whole thing of finding little tidbits that make your journey what it is. A lot of times what they tell you about how you can't heal your diseases and how you can't, do this or do that is because it basically gives them a justification to keep doing the bad habits that they're doing. And you'll notice that when you change your diet and you start eating healthy, suddenly everybody in the world is a nutritional expert. And all of a sudden it's, well, you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that, all the while they're shoving fast food into their mouth every single day and eating tons of things that are causing inflammation on their body and eating things that actually cause disease instead of getting rid of the disease. You'll find people who are on 6 or 7 medications telling you how you're supposed to eat because they're healthy. And the doctor came back with all normal numbers for them. That's the illusion. And if you haven't seen my video, The Illusion of Health, you should. People have this illusion that what they're doing is healthy and okay because medication is saving their life at the moment. But that is still sickness because you're still on things to make yourself okay instead of not. So I understand that once you've done damage, sometimes you have to be on medication. And I'm not saying that all medication is horrible and you should get it off at all. I am on a thyroid pill because I have beat myself up so much with food that I've destroyed my thyroid enough that I need help in order to function. But that's all I'm on. It's just helping me to function. If you have to be on a blood thinner because you've damaged yourself so much that you have to be on that right now, that's fine. I'm not saying that, all pills are bad, but you really need to listen to people who are on the same journey and who have gotten results that you want to get. You don't want to be on, you don't want to be eating the same way or doing the same things that someone who's on 10 medications is doing. You don't want to do the same thing that someone who's overweight by 50 plus pounds is doing and continually growing. You don't want to do that. You want to follow the people that are getting the results that you want. So that's who I look for on YouTube. When I put in plant-based eating, whole food plant-based, raw vegan, vegan doctors or anything like that, I don't follow fat doctors. Obviously, they're not doing something right. if they're still overweight, unless they're on a journey and they've told me they're on a journey, I don't follow them. Why would I listen to someone who is overweight, taking medications for heart disease and diabetes as nutritional advice for myself? Like, why would I do that if obviously they're not doing what it takes? I don't want to listen to their opinion. And so I give them a grain of salt, but that's all I give them. And then I go on the search for my own. I want to find a doctor who's eating the way that he says that everybody should eat, that's doing the things that he says everybody should do. And that's the advice that I want to listen to. Those are the people that I want to surround myself with, because I don't want myself to go backwards. I want myself to go forwards towards the goal that I have set for myself. And I have set the bar pretty high. And I may never achieve that, but as long as every day I'm working towards that goal, then that is what I guess that for me that's an accomplishment. Give your focus to what you want to grow. If you want to grow self-love, if you want to grow the positivity in your life, if you want to, whatever your focus is, that's what's going to grow. You can focus on all this negativity, but really that just keeps building and building and building. And it's so draining to have to try so hard. It's just not even worth it. You really need to just surround yourself with people who are positive, because then you won't have to try so hard to find those or to be positive. It just kind of filters onto you. I mean, you'll walk into a room and you can read the room. Is it full of blah, blah, blah? I hate this. I hate that. I hate my job. I hate my life. I can't do this. Or is it full of people who are like bouncing off the walls, positive, fun? I mean, you can read a room and and so read your life. Look around. Find out why you're having such a hard time struggling. What is it about your life that is causing you to struggle so much? And cut that out. Now, I realize that you can't cut out everything. Like, sometimes your spouse is the one who's just constantly nagging because they don't want to change either with you. But, you can't cut them out of your life. I mean, unless you choose to cut them out. But you can limit your time maybe with them. And that's another thing, too. A way to kind of, if you can't get rid of the people who are negative in your life, branch out farther into other realms. So like I said, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, find people who are eating this way, reach out farther so that your inner circle is insignificant. And you want to reach other people so far out that becomes kind of what you pull towards you into your inner circle. So you may have a husband who is not supportive. You may have immediate family that is not supportive. But if that's a small little part of your whole circle, then it really becomes insignificant. It doesn't matter what they say, it doesn't matter what they do, because you know what? They're one person and you have 10 others over here that are telling you something totally opposite. That really is the key to success, is it keeps you on your road when you are not constantly beat down. The last couple things I have to say is just that life is so short. We only get X amount of days on this earth, and we don't even know how many that is. Nobody knows. You could die tomorrow. So what did you do today to change towards your goal? It's so short to waste it on negative Nellies and to waste it on just being blah in your life. And it took me a long time actually to come to this realization. And I feel so bad for those people who haven't come to that realization yet. And I try to help them, but then I feel like I'm being the negative Nelly because I'm a very in your face, I'm going to tell you how it is person. I have compassion and empathy, but honestly, that is not my strong suit. I am very, if you don't like it, change it. Like, I don't understand what your deal is. And sometimes that comes off as negative. So, like, I'm trying to be more loving you where you are because people make a lot of excuses. And I just get so sick and tired of hearing the excuses. But I was an excuse at one point. And so I'm trying to work on loving people where they are and realizing that people still have to come the journey that I came. And it's very hard, but no one is you in this life. God made you special and he made you for a reason. And there is something of value in you in order for you to still be walking on this earth. And you have to learn to let your love shine out to others, let your light shine out to others, and just be who you are or who you are meant to be. And if you want to change, you can't let anybody stop you. They have their own issues. They have their own problems that they want to deal with and have to deal with. And they need to come to a place where they can let their light shine. And for some people, they never come to that realization that they have an inner light that they can just let out and they can affect people's lives in such a positive way. And so you just have to do that for you. You have to be that best version of you that you can be. And the best way to do that is by creating a life that helps you be that. And if you are overweight, that extra weight is dragging you down to where you can't do that. If you are being doped down on all of this food-like product, and all these chemicals that are just making it your life just kind of ho-hum along, like, you really need to break away from all of that and just find pure forms of things, pure agape, unconditional love. You have to find pure food to put into your body so that your body can function at a tip-top level. You have to find that purity of life, that love, that just, I don't know, there's like a higher level to life that people are missing out on. And you have to find that by changing things in your immediate circumstances, in your immediate, situation. You just have to be the best version of you every day and keep growing yourself in love and of light and letting all else fall away. I hope that was encouraging for you today. I hope that you are ready to take the step. If you have questions or anything like that, I run a Facebook group called Plant Power Healing and Health. You can find me on there. I will let you in. It doesn't matter if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, if you still eat meat. It all is about starting where you are and making better choices every single day. I am also on Instagram at Fit Farming Mom, and of course on here. You can look through all my videos. You can ask me questions in the comments and I will answer the best I can. If you're a hater, sorry, gonna blow past your comment. I might even delete it. Like, I don't even care. But you can heal from disease. I have. Tanny Raw has. She had lupus and RA and irritable bowel and just a whole bunch of diseases. There are people healing every day. Please don't let these negative Nellies tell you that you can't eat greens when you're on blood thinners. Don't let them tell you that you can't eat fruit when you have diabetes. Don't let them tell you that you'll never get rid of your dis-ease. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't, because you totally can. And the more you do, sometimes some people will come around and realize that, oh my gosh, I can too. But you can't let other people dictate your life. You have to take the reins and go for where you're going. Put on blinders to everything else and find out what matters to you. Write down some goals and some affirmations that are positive, and just hit the road and keep running. So thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed and awesome day.